Good morning. Our group is conformed by Natalie Bolaños, Paola Juliao, Laura Matías, Caroline Sabá, and Angie Morales. Today, we are going to talk about the Colombian Northern Triangle Agreement. Colombia and the countries of the Northern Triangle of Central America, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras initiate negotiations for a free trade agreement that would allow them to improve the condition of access to their markets, exploit complementarities of their economies, to promote mutual investments, in order to make further progress in their levels of economic and social development. Background and negotiations. In the late 1990s, the Andean community undertook steps to enhance trade relations with the Central American countries. Colombia and the Northern Triangle countries, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras, initiate negotiations towards a free trade agreement in June 2006. The framework and timing set out in the document regarding negotiations between Colombia and Guatemala states that there should be 6 negotiating rounds and that the negotiations should conclude within a year. The negotiations were concluded on 16 March 2007 after 6 rounds of negotiations and 2 meetings of the working groups on market access. On the 9th August 2007, Colombia and El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras signed the agreement. Entry into force: Colombia and Guatemala on November 13, 2009. Colombia and El Salvador on 1st February 2010. Colombia and Honduras on March 2007, 2010. This is a list of products that are included in FTA between Northern Triangle and Colombia. In the case of yogurt, it's not included in the base rate, as well as cars and chicken. On the other hand, corn's tariff is going to be reduced during 5 years equally. But in the case of rice, paddy's tariff, this is going to be reduced in a year. Some potential products that can be exported from Colombia to Northern Triangle. Baby food. The current tariff is 15, but this is going to be reduced in a year. Likewise, petroleum oil, preparation for the treatment of textile and leather, and almonds too. Another possible option is vinegar. The current tariff is 20, but it's going to be reduced in 5 years. Origin rules. Preferential. Allow you to define if a product meets the requirements for obtaining the tariff concessions under the trade agreements. No preferential. Applied to the instruments of trade policy, such as procedures, anti-dumping, quantitative restrictions. Elements of the rules. First, origin criteria. Second, conditions of delivery. Third, documentary proof. Conditions of originating goods. Be obtained entirely or entirely produced. Produced exclusively with originating materials. Produced with materials not originarious that meet the accused according to annexes.
Created using Powtoon.